Okay, team. Okay, hi everybody, thanks for coming. Read the usual statement prior to the meeting. This meeting of the Sandy Neck Board is being recorded and broadcast on the Town of Barnstable's Government Access Channel in accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 38, Section 20. The chair must inquire whether anyone else is recording this meeting, and if so, to please make their presence known. Seeing nobody, we'll move on. Do a roll call, please, Ms. Farco.
Bill Monroe.
Pete Sampu.
Chris Clark,
Rich French.
Maureen Pachoni, Anne Marie Lupino,
Donna Bragg.
And Tom O'Neill. Okay, do you want to take our first well scout out of order here? So we'll do that. Let's just get out the minutes. Any question on the minutes from last month?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion, thanks. Minutes are passed. Okay. So, did you pronounce your last name Caron or Caron?
It's Karen.
Karen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Damien's gonna, we love Eagle Scout projects, so you're probably the, I don't know, fifth or sixth at least that we've had, so. You know, we're pretty rough on the scouts when they do this, so be prepared.
Oh, you are.
It's my job, I'm chairman. Yeah.
It is.
All right.
All right, take it up. Let's go.
So my plan is to build 3 toy lending libraries with like signage, pretty much, telling kids should recycle, and they'll be placed at the 3 like pedestrian entrances at Sandy Neck. So this is just like an example of placement. I know that you guys are doing lots of construction, so they might differ a little bit, but they're gonna be pretty much from the parking lot to the beach on those little paths. So, and then why build them? Over 90% of beach toys made with plastic, which is bad for the environment, and only 9% of plastic that gets thrown away actually gets recycled. So by encouraging like the reuse or reusing of beach toys, there's going to be less new beach toys produced, which means less plastic demand and production. So, and then how will Sandy Neck benefit? As we'll have less waste and litter along the beaches. Children at the beach will have something to play with, enjoying Sandy Neck more. And Sandy Neck wildlife will also have less contact with plastics and wastes, which can be harmful, and a greener beach overall. And then who will help? So we got the scouts and parents from Troop 54. Also my cousin, because he's like a crazy woodworker, so he's really good with that stuff. So he'll be there. So.
Is that airplane that right there, is that gonna drop the stuff off? Air shoot it down?
Or do we get to ride in it
Yeah.
at least? I mean.
At least the
I
chairman.
get the ride. Yeah. And then this is the design. I also have like a physical model here. So it's gonna be 4.5 feet tall, 2.5 feet like thick pretty much, and 5 feet long. So it's pretty much like one of the best sizes I could like really find. It wouldn't like take up too much space. So, and they're gonna each weigh around like 150 to 200 pounds. So big gusts of winds shouldn't knock it over.
Good thinking.
So yeah. And any potential challenges I might have are any delays in the project's like approval process. Limited access to Sandy Neck in September due to your guys' like planned renovations, and assigning tasks for younger scouts, like scouts with different ability levels. So. These are the materials I would need to make them. So mostly just made out of 2x4s and 4x4s. Then the signs for each are going to be made out of dye bond. which is like an aluminum composite, which is like weather resistant, so it shouldn't fade or anything like that. And these are the supplies I'll need, so screws, drill bits, sandpaper, and the tools required: sawhorse, power drills, circular saws, speed square, tape measures, safety glasses, work gloves, levels. We all have that, so. Yeah. And then our safety plan, we're gonna follow the scouting like safe project tool use. We're gonna have constant adult supervision, and all scouts and adults will wear like PPE, like gloves and safety glasses, closed-toed shoes and ear protection. Then scouts 14 and older will be operating power drills, and only adults are operating the saws. Everyone gets water, so. And this is the scope of work. So we're gonna pick up the materials at Sherpley and bring them to my house, and we're gonna build all the boxes at my house too. And the signs will be designed and by like me and my mother. And if you guys have like anything you want on the signs or any ideas for them, we can also like incorporate those. Then they're gonna be produced, and the boxes, once they're built, they're gonna be loaded onto a trailer or a pickup truck and then brought to the Sandy Neck. So then we'll pretty much place them down. So, and how many days will it take to build? Should only take around 2 to 3 days. Just all depends on how long it really takes us each day, and how many people we have there. So, this is our timeline. So after this, if you guys think it's a good idea, we'll send it out to the Cape Cod and Islands Scouting Council for approval. Then once that's approved, we'll start fundraising and building the boxes, and they should be like complete and ready to be put on the beach late August. Then the finances for it. So we got a quote from Shepley for $881.88. Then you got the sales tax on that, and then for the fasteners, we were going to use the ones that Sandy Neck already has as leftovers from previous scouting projects. So I did the math, and we should have enough with like how much you guys have, and some drill bits, and the signs and like design and fabrication will be all free. Donating by my mom, Allison Karen Design. So the total's around $946.
Cool.
And then, you guys have any questions?
Yes, I do. You said that these are gonna be ready for late August.
Yeah.
Right? And how are they gonna be put into Sandy Neck to make them kind of like semi-permanent so they can be taken out?
Yeah. Cause you guys like, I heard that you like wanted them like semi-movable. So like in the winters, you guys can move them if you want. So we weren't planning to like fix them like permanently, but we were having ideas of like burying like a 4x4 into the sand and then attaching it to it, but still making it like easy enough to be removed. So
I think at 150, 200 pounds, you don't gotta worry about them moving.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But
And the wind will go through your open slats, so, yeah, I don't think you need to have an anchor for them.
Just a question, that's all.
Yeah.
We're gonna put them up during the,
Things disappear sometimes though.
But
Yeah, but we'll put 'em up.
Mischievous mice late at night.
Especially wooden.
They make good firewood.
Yeah, they're rough, pretty good.
Which kind of ties to a question I was gonna ask. Is it gonna be pressure treated wood or?
it's all pressure treated. Yeah, that was like
Less available for firewood then.
Yeah.
The timing, the timing, it doesn't seem to me like it would make much sense, well, it doesn't make any sense, you can't put the them out at the beach in August, because that's all gonna be dug up out there.
Well, here's the beauty of it though, this is something that we can store over
Yeah.
the winter and then it's a go, go, go.
Yeah, you're on.
As soon as we, get
Okay.
out there. So, I mean, I definitely don't want him to stop his project
No,
because, we're gonna be in a mess this winter for sure, yes?
Maybe it gets out there for a weekend or two and people
Yeah,
see it.
that's fine.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, we come next year, we're gonna bring the extra toys we have at home and toss
Exactly.
them in there. So it,
It'll be a great addition, especially with everything being relocated.
Yeah.
where-
Yeah.
Chris, sorry.
Thank you. And congratulations, looks like you
Yeah.
did a great job
Nice
planning it
Thank
and
you.
scoping it out. I did hear about putting it away for the winter, so are you gonna advertise the season, like that you're gonna put it away at a certain time or not necessarily? Just wing it?
From our standpoint, it would probably be able to be on the beach from Memorial Day to Labor Day is
That's
the
what I was-
time frame where we would be able to willingly have it on the beach for the entire season.
So I'm suggesting that perhaps say that on your signage.
That's a good idea. Let them know when it's available, yeah.
hey, that anachronism they use, the safety, and know what it stands for? I had to look it
You
up.
said I asked tough questions.
Oh, Sue, I had to look it up.
Got scouted.
Supervision,
Yeah.
assessment, fitness and skill, equipment and environment. So you put that test to anything you're doing.
Nobody would remember
Is there
that.
supervision, is there assessment, is there fitness and skill? You're an insurance guy, you
Insurance
like that stuff. Equipment and environment. And you, to me, you talked about all of those questions, whether you knew it or not, you talked about all those questions that needed to be answered.
So,
And that's why you use something like that, so you have a benchmark to know, what did I forget? And you go back and you get those points, so.
The only correction I make is I'm not an insurance guy.
Also, I don't know if you heard me earlier when we were talking that there's a Cape Cod Lending toy library that's opened up in the Tumbleweed Quilt area on
Yeah.
CK, and so it's a trend for sure with lending out toys, kind of like a library. They give you kits that has different educational toys in it. They're doing a really good job. They've gotten so big, they now have their permanent home there at Tumbleweeds. So,
it's pretty.
same idea.
I heard you, and I agree with you, except that it's not opened. They're renovating that building before they move back in. They brought all their toys to the Highness Library.
Oh, I am not aware.
I knew that they moved out, but they're not moving in until they rehab the place.
They were, I think, at a couple different locations in addition to, so I'm not sure, but now they're at the Highness Library?
Until the renovations are completed.
Thank you.
This could kind of be a trend for all the beaches.
Mm.
Something to think about, because if it, we do kind of have a little box that the kids throw toys in and we replenish and all that. But I like your idea of the environmental aspect of it, and it might be something you want to introduce to the other beaches.
Did you say where you were gonna get the toys, or did I miss that?
I mean, we're gonna seed some starting ones ourselves. But the idea is kind of when people have beach toys they don't want anymore, or they come to the beach as a tourist during the summer, and when they're leaving they don't want to bring all these toys back, so they can just drop them right off.
So there's kind of a marketing piece there that probably needs to happen, is to try to figure out how you make that connection.
Yeah.
Once you've walked up to the parking lot with all of them, your tendency to throw them in your car and go home.
Yeah.
So you may want to do something to kind of proactively market that.
Yeah,
Boxes will be right by where they're gonna walk right by the boxes when they're going back to their car.
well, they leave their umbrellas in their chairs. It'd be nice if they left the toys.
If they leave money.
One caution for the staff, I'm sure you're aware that people will leave things in those boxes that don't belong in those boxes.
We always check all that stuff,
Yeah.
every day, it's, we're on top of that.
Donna and Anne Marie, I was just thinking, wondering if in the next newsletter, Sandy Neck newsletter, you could ask
That's
for
a great
donated
idea,
donated
really
items.
good.
Start talking
That'd be an
about
awesome
that.
idea.
Yeah. Okay.
And even at things like the cleanup in April or whatever,
Yeah,
to
we
let
wouldn't
the MBA and
Yeah,
stuff.
we've got the coast sweep in
Bring stuff
September,
in.
and that's very much based around plastic
Right,
waste.
people can
right?
bring in
So-
toys and stuff. They have them.
Okay.
So,
Any other questions? Sounds like a great project. We love these kind of projects. It's really refreshing to see our younger folks doing stuff that's meaningful and, hopefully you'll learn something from this. And that brings us to the second point, which is once you're done, we do like to have, if possible, to have the scouts come back and talk about what they did learn from the project. So we, kind of gives us a chance to see what you got out of it as opposed to just
Yeah, we can 100%.
everybody else. So,
Yeah.
Good luck. So now you just gotta find money and toys.
Yeah, we have the funding under control.
Yeah,
So.
okay, good.
Cool.
Excellent.
job.
You've made a little model of it. That's great.
Yeah.
You also might be able to get some of the toys donated. I'm
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
at the end of the season.
I think I could scrape a few up.
One parent
Be on
doesn't have a
problem.
bunch of stuff in their garage.
Stuff in the
They
garage.
would
Yeah.
love to donate, right, yeah.
Are all toys recyclable? And I don't even know,
I'd have to say
or are
tonight.
they,
No, they don't want that in a plastic recycle.
yeah, but I was looking at something today that was like white horrible thing and it actually had the recycling thing on the bottom. It was an old trash can, which I was surprised they wanted.
I have a question. In there you had an item for tax.
Yeah.
Okay, aren't you a nonprofit?
Yeah, I don't think we have like a Shepley nonprofit account, but we could either.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
go through us
if,
with
if
it.
we go through you guys, then.
Yeah, we have a tax exempt number,
Alright.
so,
We have an account.
we have an account.
Alright,
So-
yeah. Once I have all the funding ready, I can email you guys.
Great,
Yeah.
perfect.
Sounds good.
So, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Good
job.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that
You're welcome to stay or you can bolt, whichever
Yeah.
whichever you'd like to do.
Run fast, run far.
Excellent. Okay, so, we're kind of at this notes from the chair thing, so I just want to talk a little bit about the subject we talked about last couple of meetings around thinking about the future for the board and what we'd be working on as a board and kind of developing a strategy, not complicated, thank you very much, not, detailed, highly detailed, but starting to think, we have this massive project that's really been consuming all of our thinking for the last 7 years. So we have another, almost a year to go through to get all the building done. We still have challenges with construction that need to be managed. It's going to be very intense for the team. We also have funding, issues still, so it's still a pretty active project and something that, undoubtedly we'll need to continue to stay on top of as a team. So I was talking about starting a conversation this month around kind of developing this sort of future view of how we, what are the 2 or 3 key things that we work on as a board. And I spoke to Nina about it a bit. And I actually did develop a draft for discussion. But in talking with Nina, it became pretty clear after a few minutes that, with everything that's going on with her operationally in the summertime, and then we run right into the project, it's gonna be too much to try to take on anything too, because she needs to be, it's one of these things that kind of crosses the line between what the board should be looking at more strategically and what she deals with operationally, and of course, even within her own strategy for her department and stuff. So it's kind of a complex thing to manage, but I think, so I committed to doing this, and I still am committed to doing it, and so this is not a cancellation, but it's just a postponement. It's something we need to maybe address again in 3 or 4 months. Once the project's up and going, we can talk about it some more and decide, how we proceed. Doesn't mean, however, we shouldn't be thinking about, our key areas of focus, erosion and coastal resiliency, financial considerations for keeping the beach solvent and making money, and also continuing to expand, particularly in the area of continuing to expand our public outreach and education. Talking with Nina, it has been a lot more of that education, particularly recently, some cases driven by the grants, which have required, a lot of education as a part of the grant process. So I think, I don't want to really have anything come in the way of this project, so I think we've got to give the team the time they need to get through that and get through the summer. And then we'll bring this up again, and we have more time to do it. So postponement, not a cancellation, but because we do need to figure this out. Once this project's over, we need to have a reason for being. You know, we have to have a couple things that are in our minds as critical issues. And what I'm suggesting is that we continue to do the education stuff, because that starts to potentially generate, you know, we had Zach here last month, and there are other people. I've got a few other names in mind, but you guys need to give me some names too. It's hard to contact someone out of the blue, you know, just go through that big explanation. But if you know somebody that's a subject matter expert who could kind of get us thinking about issues under any one of those kind of three key strategic areas, you know. I mean, Renee has been really helpful with the education stuff. I mean, you know, the project we did a month or so ago with the kids from the 3rd grade, I understand went really, really well. I mean, that's just huge, you know, for a lot of those kids who had never even seen that beach, or maybe any beach, I don't know. So we can keep thinking about those things, but also I would like to get, you know, at least every couple months, if we can, get a speaker in here to come in for half an hour, and maybe that then brings us some new ideas, triggers some thoughts for us, so that when we do start to think about the future a little bit, we'll have be a little bit more informed, and also see what other people are doing. It might even be someone from another beach park we could bring in. If you guys have a contact, you know, at Duxbury or somewhere, you know, National Seashore. It's easier than if I try to start cold calling these people, you know.
I'm involved with Friends of Barnstable Harbor.
Yep.
And they have a project going on now that has to do with marsh regeneration and stuff. I mean, that would be, I'm sure I can get them to come in here and collaborate with us.
Yeah, one of my neighbors is on, I think he's the treasurer now, I think, on that.
Yeah.
So, but if you know somebody, he's not a technical guy, but he did mention they were
I
doing
will,
this big project. Yeah.
I'll reach out and see if they
Be the perfect kind of guy that,
at least start it off, you know?
Exactly.
Now, would you think more like in the wintertime when we have less stuff?
Not really, I mean,
or?
no, I mean, August is a kind of a blank month, then we get into September, October, we have regs, rules and regs, fees, that kind of stuff, so maybe not those couple months, but.
Yeah, right, okay.
But if we could do another one in August, I mean, that's probably, maybe too soon to get somebody teed up. But otherwise, maybe skip over September and October, and then maybe November-ish into the winter, we could do that, you know. Maureen, you gave me a name of somebody, but you don't know the person, do you? So I'd have to cold call.
No,
Yeah, I mean, I can do that, but it's a longer discussion.
Yeah, all right.
But, you know, MBPA, I mean, if there's people in there that you think could be, you know, good speakers that could talk about, you know, issues around maybe public use, or it could be anything, really. You have a lot of members, I'm sure there's some you know, sharp people in there that could potentially be interesting to the boards, help the board's education on some of the, either things you're dealing with or things you see when you're out there, maybe even more importantly. So, I mean, just let's try to get everybody. I don't want to be the only one coming up with recommendations, so.
But you did such a good job.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to top the owl, I have to admit. I have to admit. I wouldn't want to follow me if you know what I mean. No, I mean, seriously, I'd really appreciate that. So that's where we are with that. Anybody have a different view on that, or you guys feel comfortable with that?
I have a question of process.
Sure.
Do we have to have a vote based on the presentation that the young gentleman just presented for them to go forward?
No.
No.
Okay.
Someone designated from the staff, and I meant to ask the question if he's already signed that, or had you sign it?
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, there is a document that he needs to have, he'll have to reach out to you again, and he has to have the document. Basically, it's a report that he submits that says what he's gonna do, how he's gonna do it, all of this stuff will be in that report.
Okay.
And there's a place for the beneficiary, that would be the town, someone from the town. I've done it sometimes, Donna's done it, you know, whatever, just somebody that's willing to be the point person, you know, so that and if there is a question, then they can call you. And if there's a question, it's probably coming from me, and I wouldn't have a question, so.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a formality, but he does have to, before he can present it to, he goes before another board.
Yep.
A review board, that this is the project that he wants to do. He has to have it signed off that the beneficiary says, yeah, go ahead. So it's just a signature.
Yeah, okay.
That's my only reason for asking.
I do want these, you have the contact, but I really think it's important to have the guys that do the project come in and talk about what they learned, because, you know.
They don't say any different.
Yeah, exactly, so we get that kind of, get them thinking about that too, so it's not just someone else that's benefiting, but they're getting a benefit too. Yeah, looking at the calendar, September is discussion on fees, then we have regulations in October, so then November is the Sandy Neck report, which is kind of tends to be kind of a long meeting.
Right.
Yeah, so maybe December on, you know,
Okay.
ish.
Yeah.
But, you know, if we got someone we could sneak in August, if that Barnstable person could be ready, then we could do it. We have nothing huge on the agenda that's.
Yeah, just let us know so I can put it on the agenda if
I'll let
it's
you know.
gonna work. Okay.
Okay. All right, thanks, everybody. Correspondence? Nothing? Okay. Staff report, please.
So staff report, right now the ORV is still only open to 0.6 of a mile. Cottage owners are still using Trail 1 or are by escort. Call the gatehouse if you need to schedule one. Day trippers are parked headlights facing the dunes right now. Camper sites are designated. We have sites in the beginning, almost to Trail 1, and then we have about 5 to 10 sites at the end of the beach at the closure line. Gatehouse hours are 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. ORV is open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Campfires are allowed. Speed limit right now is strictly 5 miles an hour. And just a little slide, July 4th recap. Kind of wanted to let you guys know about it. We were at capacity by 10 a.m. We were able to open by 1:30 on the ORV. It was a really busy day, but it was a great day. All of our staff were very attentive in managing the busy ORV beach and all of the patron questions. We received a lot of positive feedback from all user groups. And throughout the entire busy day, we had 2 calls to service that required rescue response, but we had a lot of team members on and were able to respond in a great timely manner. Also make sure that the accessibility areas, so one of the responses happened all the way at the tip of the North Finger. We had police en route. We also had harbor master, Barnstable Fire by boat. Luckily, everyone involved was okay. It ended up being 3 juveniles had wandered off from where they were supposed to be. Luckily, we were able to find them and get them back to where they belonged. And the other rescue response happened actually after curfew in the area of the access trail. A small fire broke out and they were able to put it out very fast. Overall, really great day. And then I just wanted to do a little bit of a reminder. Anyone who is accessing the Marsh Trail, please drive slow. And this is also kind of a PSA. If you see a terrapin nesting, stay back and call the gatehouse. You don't want to go up onto where they're actually trying to nest because you're going to disturb them and they won't actually nest in that area. So just back off, call the gatehouse, and we'll get someone out there to assist. And that is our staff report.
Any questions, guys? Pete?
Yeah, I went out to the halfway cottage on July 4th and 6 terrapins.
You called, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
They were all over,
Yeah.
coming up out of the marsh, laying their eggs.
It's amazing how over the years it's just moved to the east.
Yes.
It used to be just way down in the corner.
Everything busted open on 4th of July because it was between terrapins in the middle of the road nesting and people and yeah, but you know what? It was probably one of our best
It was.
4th of Julys. And I cannot tell you how many people have emailed and come in and talked to us about, wow, you know, thank you. You guys did a great job. Our team was spectacular.
Yes,
Really.
they were.
As always.
You had the fire department drill as well. This past
Yep,
month.
on the 30th.
Yeah. Keep everybody sharp, you know, and when we had the emergency and the staff jumped in and held the traffic and made sure that everybody got to where they were going, it clicked. And it was really good because of all the back training that gets done. And, you know, everybody sees the end result. They don't see what it takes to get us there. You know, it takes a lot, so good job.
Okay, so we'll just go through, on the project, I don't think there's anything new that I'm aware of. I mean, Nina's been a lot out of pocket, but I don't think there's any news. I don't know if they've actually publicly awarded the bid yet, have they?
Mhm.
Okay, do you want to mention that then? Or should we not mention it publicly yet?
I know it's been public, but I think we should let,
Okay.
yeah.
If there's not a signed contract, maybe you should wait.
Yeah, it's we do have, well, it's the low bidder, so it's a town, but it looked like a pretty promising bid and potentially not as expensive as we had projected, so that's always good news, because we still have some gaps in funding, so anyway, but we'll make sure when Nina's back, we'll be able to get that information out to you, but I don't have anything else on the project other than that. I think the CZM grant is it in yet or close to being in?
It's close to being.
And then there was the NWFW, whatever, the Fish and Wildlife one.
Mhm.
That one, we're waiting to hear from them as to whether we make the second cut, as far as you know, yeah.
As far as I know.
So there was a submission in, and we go into the pot with whoever else is, asking for money, and then they're gonna pick people out of the, probably not out of a hat, but they're gonna pick them, the next group of people they wanna go forward with, so we'll have to wait on that too. So there's two, CZM seems like it'd be a pretty hopeful grant, and then we'll have to wait and see on the other one. Anything on public use or outreach you want to talk about, Bill?
I don't have anything.
All right, so new business, we have a election of officers tonight, we're missing 2 people. So if they had an interest in being one of the officers, they're out of luck. But we do need to kind of get this done as we do every year, as 2 roles, chairman and vice chair. So we could open the floor to nominations.
Is the chair interested in being renominated?
Sure.
Is the vice chair interested in being renominated?
Sure.
I would nominate
Enthusiasm.
these gentlemen to the fine positions that they have been occupying the last couple of years and thank them for their service.
Second. Okay, we'll have a viva voce, a voice vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, I appreciate
There was
it.
a train that just went by. Just saying.
That's the trash train. It goes down in Yarmouth about 4 o'clock every afternoon.
Uh,
Blows its whistle.
I actually wonder if any of the boards ever have anyone contesting the chairman. I mean, once they get someone in the chair position, they're like,
You know,
if there's anybody ever.
we had that in Concom.
Did you?
Time, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Challenge Mr. Lee, or?
Yeah.
Okay,
At the Scout Council, it's like, it's not a rule, but like, you can serve for like 2 years, or generally they do serve for 2 years. And then at some point you look around like, well, you haven't been president yet, and you have, so now it's your turn in the
We're
barrel.
different, this is until death us do part
no,
here.
I'm definitely not gonna be with that.
We do have another experienced chairman, so I mean, if you feel that,
Yes, exactly.
at some point when you feel that, and we have other people that could fill those roles as well, so. If it's a burden, then you need to say it's a burden, and then the rest of us have to step up.
Or if someone else is interested, they should put their name forward. I mean, it's too bad that 2 other people were here, because if they hadn't, I don't think Renee would have, honestly, because she's pretty busy with her
Busy with other stuff.
rec-com and stuff. Okay, I think
Other bill.
that covers it. New business, we did the board strategy, we talked about Eagle Scout, we've done. So I don't have any other matters reasonably anticipated by the chair, so I guess we could look for public comment. Any of you folks have anything you'd like to say?
I did have one.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing that we talked about at the last meeting, and it had to do with Nate King.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Just so you know, we are researching that, trying to find some relatives. So that's in process.
I also should have mentioned that under correspondence that I did send a thank you letter both to, I think I might have copied you guys on, to Zach and to my wife who made the presentation. Yeah, you're right, Nat King was the other thing. Yeah, so Nate, I'm sorry, we need to, yeah. Who's kind of, is there somebody in charge of that, or?
Me.
You,
Rich,
okay, Fred.
Rich has been at the courthouse and
Tom, I'm not sure if we have
Yeah.
someone from public
I'm sorry.
comment that would
Oh,
like
yeah,
to speak.
sorry.
I was actually
You
just
have to
gonna,
identify yourself.
oh, I'm Deb Michelson, Chacoin.
Okay.
And this is my first time coming to a meeting, so I don't know. Listening to that, Scout, is there any way that when the beach stickers that, get emailed, like that we could suggest some toys?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the marketing.
When that email goes out,
Yeah.
because it's not paper, so it's not costing
Yeah.
postage or anything, but like maybe put a little note on the bottom that this is a new project
it's a
and
really good idea.
if toys could be donated or even funded for toys.
Yeah.
Just a food for thought as somebody who gets their sticker, if that was there, it might prompt me to.
You probably ought to have a plan B for those toys in the event you get a dump truck full.
Well, then we have the,
I really don't think it's gonna be a problem to keep those boxes full.
Yeah, 'cause that's-
Everything left behind.
That's 3,000 stickers going out there.
We have
We-
500 single
Yeah,
flip
no, it's
flops.
a good idea.
That's a good
We
suggestion.
walk out on Long Beach in Centerville.
Thank you.
And there's a little place there where Bumps River comes into Long Beach. And it's all private property above the line, but the owners let you walk over to get to the other side. And there is always a pile of toys and beach chairs and, use it, bring it back and it's surprising that it's so well policed, in a place that, is not well policed,
Yeah.
and
so
it could
it's
be.
the neighborhood that does.
It is, yeah,
That's
it's-
great.
yeah.
That's
I mean,
really
it could be a good exercise for the kids too, if the parents say, hey, you can take these toys, bring it, but you have to put them back and
Yeah.
teach them a little responsibility, of replacing them back in the
like
container. We'll see. Yeah, Chris.
Actually, I like your suggestion, but I'm wondering if you could expand on it perhaps when you send out the reminders for the next year's sticker, that perhaps you can say, we gladly accept donations at blah, blah, however you want to describe it, but also say, by the way, there's a gift fund, so that if somebody doesn't have a toy, they might have some cash to build that kitty for future projects.
I thought there was an issue with that fundraising.
Well, you have a gift fund.
It's,
don't you?
we have a gift fund, Sandy Neck has
Where
a
does that
gift
money
fund.
come from now?
Gifts. People
Santa
donate.
Claus?
Yeah, Santa Claus. No, people donate all the time. We use the gift fund for various things. We, for educational purposes, big time. Turtles, yeah, so, lots of people just donate. People come to the gatehouse and say, God, really, what a special place, we love it. Here's $100 or here's $50. So we put it in and it
Okay.
goes into the bank and that goes into the gift fund.
Okay.
So, which can be discretionary usage, so
Right.
something like what she was talking about, getting some toys or whatever, for sure, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind going on that, so that, what that tells me is, that might be a topic for a future meeting. What I've done with, what they've done with the gift funds.
Yeah, well, I think, I seem to recall somewhere along the line having a discussion with Nina about,
Mm-hmm.
doing something at the beach that you could
I'm
raise
just
money.
saying,
Like, have a band
these
playing
meetings
or
are
something,
videotaped.
Yeah, that we couldn't do, but see, some of the money that goes for the scouting projects, that when we, they try to raise the money and whatever they can't raise, comes out of our gift fund for us to purchase materials for the scouts. So, yeah, I think it's a great idea, we should present that,
So why can't you do the former thing? Why can't you have a fundraiser? And you can accept, someone can walk in and give you $1,000, but you can't actually have a
Okay,
magician down
absolutely.
there and take tips or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not saying, forget about the operational stuff, I'm just talking.
it's a town, that's all I can
Is
say.
it under your nonprofit? Is the gift fund under your nonprofit arm? Do you have a nonprofit arm? 'Cause you said you have tax.
I believe we have something, but it does go into a gift fund,
I don't know.
that's a Nina question.
Yeah,
That-
there's
that-
I don't know
a
what
couple,
the
there's
tax-
gift fund,
It's more of
there's education
enterprise,
of that.
it's an enterprise account as opposed to a nonprofit.
Right,
Yeah.
But
right.
it's still, it's
A
just,
gift
I mean,
fund
the
was
enterprise
separate.
accounts is a funny internal thing, it's not a legal thing, so it's just it's still the town.
Mhm.
It's interesting, I don't know.
I like that though, I like all these
Yeah.
ideas, these are great.
Okay.
They're good.
I think I held to open up Pandora's box.
Then shut it.
Well, and that hiking lean-to was primarily funded through some major gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And and then smaller ones as well, but
That's correct.
all of the lumber and everything and all of that was through the gift fund.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Learn something every day.
yeah, we do use it, so it is. I
Pete
think-
hit me in the head with a 2x4 that was donated while we were building the
Really?
thing, yeah.
That's why you're bald on top.
Oh, yeah.
All right, before this,
They're out of control here. We've lost the meeting.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, everybody in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks, everybody, we'll see you next month.